the matter shows a losing game. It's out of sight when it's out of mind. So I say, what you gonna do about it? How you gonna handle it this time? Tell me that you'll think about it. So what you gonna do about it? How you gonna handle it this time? Tell me that you'll think about it.
Good morning and welcome back to the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships here in sunny Hamilton, New Zealand. My name is Daniel Clinton and I am joined by the amazingly talented Meg Lake. Good morning, Meg.
Good morning, good morning. Thanks for making the trek out to New Zealand to join us for a beautiful weekend of Frisbee. The first Div 1 Nationals held in New Zealand, very exciting. Good group of teams out here.
Because this is the first year that New Zealand has broken the tournament down into the two divisions. It was, previously a 30-team competition.
Yeah,
so this is the first year they've gone to a Division 1, Division 2 format.
Yep, qualifying tournaments in each of the regions, which has been really exciting, just watching that growth in the sport. Not quite enough teams in the separate open and women's divisions yet for that, but the mixed scene is growing quite well, which is really exciting to see here in a tiny country.
Well, here today we have Canale from Australia playing against UoA Flood from the University of Auckland, their premier team, their top flight team. They have a cast of thousands here today.
Yeah, they've got a big roster, a lot of people with years of experience, a couple with 9-10 years of playing, people who've been with the university club for a while, working to develop some of the younger players. A number of these players on the Flood team have worked through the New Zealand development programs, working through U20s and U24s. So it's exciting to see what they'll put out here today.
So Mitch Sutton to pull for Canali, and it's going to be Nick Whitlock. I think that's a name that we're going to spend a lot of time saying. He'll be the main guy for the Flood, and he's going to put it up straight away.
Rory
what a
Moore.
nice throw. It drops in.
Rory Moore catching that right outside the end zone with a nice easy pass up to Jenny Ling.
Well, that's one way to start the game. Flood on the board, 1-0. That is an offensive point. Nick Whitlock with a sign of intent. Absolutely airing it out.
Yeah. Very good. It'll be interesting to see how Canali comes back, how they respond to some of these players on Flood, figuring out how to use their experience as well. They've got a roster with a couple of players who've played for 10 plus years as well, so lots of experience, lots of knowledge of the sport, just have to learn to play smart and adapt to what this team will put out there.
The Canali team, many Australian representatives actually. Hannah Monty is actually a current Firetail, so is Rebecca Carmen, Firetails being the Australian women's team, the top level women's team. Alistair Don's actually on the line as well. He's been around forever in Australia. He played for the Dingoes, that's the Australian men's team. Once upon a time, he's a little bit old for that now. Still has the throws, those top level throws. That's Bakarati with the pull. It's a beautiful pull. It's going to sit nicely. Great run down. Don fields it to the middle of the field. And there's Matt Hanna. Comes back to Silva.
Good movement here from Canali.
Hannah Monty to Carmen. Oh, that is an interesting forehand by Beck Cartman. I've been talking her up and she's served that one. Bakarati picks it up and goes fast.
There's a nice D there from Crosby and Sunny Ju. Happy belated birthday to Sunny. Her birthday was yesterday.
That is a big throw.
And she
and
takes
Flood
that
are
down.
off to the races. They're going to break Canale. It's 2-0. Oh, it's all energy from the youngsters from Auckland. Auckland University. They have broken Canale. It is 2-0 to begin the game.
Sunny Zhu to Anna Dolan for that score. Lovely connection. Took advantage of that turn from Canali.
Now, Meg, we were talking a little bit before the game, as we tend to do, predictions, expectations. If I had told you Flood would have thrown 4 passes and scored twice, would you have believed me?
I might not have, no. A bit of a surprising start here from our foreigners from Australia, expecting them to come out with a lot of fire. They're a bit of a black sheep here for some of our players who've never come against them before. Yeah, I expect that we can see them stepping it up and cleaning up some of those connections.
Takarate with another good pull. That one's actually going to go deep. Don this time is going to get it. Sutton comes under. Sutton is going to reach for Hannah Monty, who has a little bit of separation. It's over her head. She racks it in. Nice burst there by Monty, and Mitch Sutton throwing that one place where only one player can catch it. That's
lovely
what we
throw.
expected.
That's what we expected. Lovely throw, lovely placement of that, just out of reach. The defender was close to begin with. Monty just pulled ahead and snatched that easy.
So a very short roster here today for Canale. They've got a few more players that are still travelling into the country, so they're a little bit short on terms of their roster, but they still have a lot of talent.
They've got a couple of pickups as well, I believe.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about Siva Long.
I have not had the pleasure of meeting her yet, but I believe she just moved in from Ireland up to Auckland, so she'll be around the women's scene this season. Look forward to getting to know her and seeing what she's got. Keegan Pillar as well from Auckland was very excited to be able to pick up for this team, and said after the first game that it's a team of people who have a great depth of knowledge about the sport, and it's exciting to be able to play in line with them.
We were having a bit of a joke inside the crew. The nickname area, Keegan Puller has put their nickname in as structure, encouragement, hunger to grow in the sport of ultimate, dedication to training ultimate Frisbee athleticism.
That's a wordy nickname. We've got stoppage out on the field.
We'll have to work that in somehow. We'll have to shorten that down a little bit. Whitlock gets the reset.
Moving it with Rory Moore. Two of them just came off the U24 campaign in Germany together. Nice pickup there from Josh Howe over to Ben Chong, one of the more experienced handlers on this line.
Chong.
Up to Jenny Ling with a nice...
Oh, Matt Hanna is getting lit up by Nicholas Whitlock at the moment. Hannah Monty goes off to try and help her teammate out. Whitlock, it's open, it's free. Flood hold, 3-1.
Whitlock to Rory Moore. Nice pass there.
Is this a storyline in the making? I can't help but wonder. I may be putting the jinx on Flood right now, and I'm going to ruin it all for them, but they had a rough game out, game one. They lost 15-3 to MDC,
Yep.
who are one of the top seeds here. You played for the MDC club.
Yep, I've played with them at Club Worlds and then last year as well when we came first at the tournament. Very talented group of athletes on MDC. Definitely a lot of teams coming to this tournament wanting to have a great matchup against MDC.
So 3-1 the score. Flood are up. They're on defense. Oh, wouldn't it just be great to see Flood break here again?
Would be very exciting. I think it would be something Canali might...
Like, send the Aussies packing. Just be like, nah, you're not welcome here. Go home. Hey, because the Flood are bottom seed here in the tournament. They're seed 12 here this weekend. So it's really a lot of pressure's off for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're out here to try and break seed, get up as high as they can.
And ruin some ruin some tournaments for some other teams maybe. This pool is going to go out.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Canali won the tournament two years ago. Or they were one of the top seeds.
Yeah, here historically, Canali has had a good time here in New Zealand, and maybe that particular run of results is about to change. So this one's going to be out. We saw Nicholas Whitlock on the far side actually signaling offside on the offense. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. It's going to be a side stack. It's very in right now. This is very fashionable in Australian Ultimate at the moment, the side stack. Do we see a lot of it here in New Zealand?
We don't. If anything, it's a side stack that forms into a flood. I'm not sure if that's how Australia has been playing it. That's a very popular one. Other than that, we don't do a lot of side or split stacks here in New Zealand. Lots of horizontals. I'd love to see more of I love a good split stack. It's very effective.
Carmen is going to work against the backhand force. Looks to break. Goes with the around. And there is an error. It's an error. And the throw is going to go to the end zone. Yeah, they're going to break it. They're going to do it. That's 3-1. Flood. Oh. Is it a dream or is it a nightmare? It depends on who you're supporting.
It's a lovely shot there from Crosby up to Bacardi.
Oh, my word. Call a timeout, Canale. Call a timeout. It's all going wrong.
A very good start here from Flood, looking very strong. Exciting to see that they're not down after their first game. Exciting to see them out here fired up.
What confidence that was. Pick it up and throw it to the end zone. What's the worst that can happen? You turn it over? Yeah, right, we'll play some more defense. It's working. Oh, my word. I am into this game right now. This is a game that it's been worth flying 3,000 kilometres to see this game. I would fly 3,000 kilometres to see this kind of game any day of the week. And when it involves coming to the beautiful New Zealand, oh, sign me up. And that is a humongous pool. Aldon is going to play it as in. Alicia Hanley now, front of the end zone. Reese Hearn is going to stop as a pick is called in the stack. We had an interesting fact about Reese Hearn, I believe, Meg.
Oh, yes.
Regarding some seedings and some results.
Rumor has it, Reese Hearn led an Australian beach men's team from a first place seeding to a tournament finish in 17th place. Courtesy of Fish. Some good banter here from Reese has been in New Zealand for a bit, knows some of the Kiwi guys.
Oh, yes!
Pick
it's
called.
Going to come back on a pick. This is for 5-1, just by the way. We see a throwaway by Reese Hearn. Alicia Hanley just gets tied in knots, can't turn around and get the bid. And now, deep in the red zone, Flood.
It was a lovely pass there from Hoda Dolan, but unfortunately,
presence of mind with the break swing to score! Flood! Yeah, Aldon's going to call a timeout. You should have done that 2 points ago, mate. It is all one-way traffic at the moment. The kids from Auckland University are taking it to the Aussies at the moment, and I could not love it anymore. I'm sorry they're my compatriots, but I love a good storyline, Meg.
It's a very exciting game out here. I'm sure it's a bit of a surprise the way it's going to a number of people, not just the two of us, but got to keep it interesting.
Well, it is going to be interesting from here because I know how good Canele are. Like I'm expecting the comeback, right? I know that for every point Flood put on, I feel like Flood are actually going to need them.
Yeah.
Like they're going to need every point they can scrounge here because when Canale come, they're going to come hard and they're going to need that advantage as much as possible. If they can score enough, they could win this. They are in this game.
Flood's got a reputation this season of being a team that can fluctuate quite heavily and whether or not they're ahead or if they're behind. They have a notorious, amazing win that they pulled off at a regional qualifier, Tamaki Throwdown, where they were playing against Hammertron and were down. They were down 2-11 and then they came back and won 14-13 on Universe. Amazing 12-point comeback.
That's it. That is one of the biggest comebacks I have ever heard of.
Yeah,
12
phenomenal.
points.
Yep, 12
is-
points.
And that's in a row as well.
Right.
Like to score once or twice without your opposition scoring, okay, that happens quite often. To score 4 or 5 times without your opponent scoring, that is rare. To do it 12 times is, I have honestly, in competition play, I've never actually seen that happen. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But that streakiness, that fluctuation is something that you see with young players, isn't it?
Right, that inconsistency, and a lot of it, I think, comes down to the mental game. Notoriously, a lot of the young players in New Zealand they struggle with getting in their head, especially coming against an opponent that they don't know or somebody that they know has played for a long time and is really good. They kind of psych themselves out, especially when they're coming to defend them or if they're trying to get open on them. Something I guess a lot of new players can struggle with, but
Well, so far I've seen nothing but disrespect. So far from Flood, they have just come out and put a bit of a stamp on this game. They're saying, we own this. This is our patch. You come across the ditch, you're going to have to play our game. Hanley is going to miss. Oh, Matt Hunter has saved the offense. Mitch Sutton is going to pump that backhand. He really wanted the long shot. It's not there. Aldon is
nice
covered
shot
well.
there.
Monty goes long to Hannah. Steve Turner goes up. He does enough.
Lovely
Flood
D
get
there.
the turn. Oh, boy.
There's a lovely D there from
Sure.
Turner.
Surely Flood don't score here, right?
Whitlock subbing on for Turner. He's coming off of an injury. I think we might be seeing a big pass here.
That is tactically an excellent time to get injured. It's never great to see anyone get injured, and it does look like Turner is quite stiff as he limps his way off the field, but to go off and have Nick Whitlock come on for you, get
It's
out.
a strategy.
Get out.
Oh, he ups for a swing pass. I was expecting it long. Oh, just missed there by... Oh! Very close bid there.
It was there. It was still there. Wow, Canale, you feel like they score here 9 times out of 10. Hanley looking, is going to
There's
bomb
one
a
of the-
hammer to Hannah, who on the second chance is going to catch that one and bring it in. Wow, Canale get their second point of the game, 5-2 now, the scoreline.
That hammer is exactly what we've been expecting from Canali. They've got a range of throws, a range of athleticism, that we can expect them to be capitalizing more on that as this game progresses. Finding the weaknesses in Flood's defense.
Speaking with Hannah Monty, one of the strongest women's players in Australia at the moment, she said, we're going to beat him with hammers, is what she said to me before the game. So I think it was clear they recognised the youth and the athleticism and the depth of this Flood team. They have a lot. You see on the screen at the moment is, you know, all the players, the 7 on the line, but then there's another, 8 or 9 players also kneeling down, hearing the line call, so they can help out from the sideline as much as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, Canali's not got the depth of their roster. They need to take every chance they can to get some water, get some shade. It's cooling down a touch from this morning, but it's going to be a hot weekend, hot and sunny. Australians might be a bit more accustomed to that than New Zealanders. A lot of the New Zealanders are coming from really windy regions, so playing in still hot conditions is a bit shocking.
Yeah, there are some players from New South Wales. It is very warm there at the moment. The state is on fire.
Ah, that would do it.
It's been not a great couple of weeks for the state of New South Wales. So, yeah, it's a little bit more humid. Oh, Whitlock, he's going to send it. He's packaged it up, and he's FedExed it to the end zone. Express. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. That's 2 passes again. Oh, Flood is 6-2.
Huge shot from Whitlock. Lovely run by Rory Moore.
Oh, Maury.
He has had an amazing recovery from an ACL surgery. One of my inspirations as I'm going through my ACL rehab, watching his goal was to play the last U24s tournament, and he played phenomenally in it. Rehab to a T. Out there, you saw him running. He just...
well, I don't know who was on defense, but they blew their coverage. He was free, and that was not like a little bit free either. He was in space of his own. Rory Moore, he said that he doesn't have a nickname, but I'm christening it right now. We're going to call him Maury.
Maury, I like it.
Because we need Maury of that.
Maury of that. Yes, please.
So defense now for Flood, 6-2 the score. Canale on offense, it has been uphill for the Australians. They have not looked comfortable.
Still waiting.
What would you like them to do as a coach and as a manager and as an experienced player, Meg?
For Canali?
Yeah, for Canale.
I think they should really take advantage of their smart plays. I think they could probably, even making up a play on the line, I think they could call mismatches. I think they can come up with some really good plays. Use their strengths, use their throws. They might be slightly disadvantaged in terms of athleticism, just especially getting tired as well, having a short roster. I think they'll need to rely less on the physical side of the sport and more on just smart plays and smart throws. They've definitely got that. They're breaking their marks easily. Lovely connections there. That was a beautiful, beautiful string of passes down the field. I think that's exactly what they need.
And you called it, Meg. Intelligence, a bit of thinking, a bit of Frisbee smarts, so to speak. They just finding the open option and then recycling the disc. Nice flow, open side, and then eventually the break side by Carmen as lots of cuts came to that near side of the field. So 6-3. Another two-pass offense, you think, from Flood?
I reckon they've got Whitlock back out there.
How does Canali deal with Nick Whitlock?
I think we were talking about this before. I think when you've got a team with a player who's quite dominant, mark out the other players, mark out all of their options, their swings, their long throws. Let them sit with the disc and be uncomfortable, knowing that there's nothing open. I think that would be.
And that was great. I was really interested in that approach. And this is something great about the international game is different perspectives. And in Australia, normally we see a dominant player and we'll send our best player onto them. And you're saying, no. Send one of your weaker defenders against that guy, but then mark everyone else out.
Yeah.
Make him really uncomfortable. Make him almost the weakness of the defense by using his own strength against you. It's very Japanese, very Aikido.
Right, yeah.
So Whitlock has thrown it back to the middle.
Back in his hands.
And it's a bit zony from Canale, clearly looking to get rid of that deep option. Monty, deep in the zone, has an excellent read of the disc, so Whitlock's probably going to be a little bit leery of throwing anything speculative in that direction. And there is the turn that Canale wanted.
It's good handler movement from Flood. Just a cold drop, unfortunate. Looked downfield before the disc was safely in his hands, and now they've got to pick up some defense.
So Carmen, far sideline. Handler goes up the line. There's Mikhail De Silva coming to this far side, really creating some width now for the offense. Sutton back to the middle. And there's a big around to Monty.
Lovely.
Hannah Monty in the end zone. Canale, they break. 6-3. Here they come.
Here they come.
It was just a matter of time. That maybe it was the time zone difference, maybe a bit of jet lag from coming over the ditch. It came off the back of that poachy zone.
Yep, I reckon that Canale's got this now. They figured out what does and doesn't work against this team. It's going to be a fight from here.
So 6-4 the score by the looks of it. And it will be Canale to play defense. Now deep in the first half. This game is really settling in. So what adjustment would you expect out of Flood? Now that Canale has just kind of shown their hand, come with that zone, what are you expecting out of Flood?
I'm thinking they might, defensively, they might try a couple of different zones, a couple of switches, a couple of poaches. But I think offensively they're going to look, they might look to just keep working it through those handlers. They're downfield, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect. We'll see if they can clean that up. They're coming out in a vertical stack here, hopefully giving themselves some more space to work with.
Here is the zone again by Canale. But Flood has found a massive hole, and off they go. And there is just a throwaway. Hannah Monty playing in space, gets the block.
Must have been the green shirt blending in with the grass. Couldn't quite see her, threw it directly into her.
We can't see him on the film. This fecal brown, or fecal green I would call it, is fairly interesting. Don is going to reach, and Monty is in a paddock of her own. She's in the end zone. There it is, Canali, bring it to 6-5.
Flood is struggling to shut down their deep throws. It's an adjustment they should make if they don't want to get punished like that. And
So
Flood's called a timeout here, hopefully to discuss
yeah,
how to shut those connections down.
Yeah, Flood, you know, they've got timeouts to call. You may as well call it. Canale's put on a little bit of a run. Flood, though, the great news is it looked like they had spotted some answers there. They maybe had found something on how to break down that Canali zone. So, you know, it's not all doom and gloom for Flood at this stage, especially considering that they went on that run early in the game and really put the blowtorch to the Australians.
It was a great start there from Flood. Yeah, I think they've really capitalized. They've got a lot of experienced handlers. Most of the people on this team with who've played for a long time are quite comfortable in that handler space. Whitlock, Howe, Ben Chong, they're quite comfortable moving the disc. So if they're faced against the zone, they're happy sitting with it. It'll just be a matter of how Canali now adjusts to that, shutting down their offense, shutting down their downfield especially.
It's interesting. Well, we've got a bit of a break here, looking through some of the information that's been provided by the teams, and the random fact for Flood, there's 4 or 5 players who've all mentioned that big Universe Point comeback against Hammertron here at the throwdown. Something else that was interesting, their never fail play off the pull for Flood is jacket to Nick. It's been the other way thus far.
Yeah. Yeah, so far we've seen a lot of Whitlock to Rory Moore connections.
So, Flood now offense again. Looks like Benjamin Chong, president of the Auckland University Ultimate Club.
Yeah, he's been involved, as long as I've been in New Zealand, he's been quite involved, puts a lot of work back into the players, into the club, helping to develop and bring new players into the scene and keep them interested, keep the sport exciting. Lots of knowledge about the sport there.
Flood are ready. Now they're still sorting out their defense. Sutton to pull. A pretty good tournament of Australian Division 1 mixed. Did Sutton playing with Hills. His team didn't really get the result that they were probably looking for. They ended up outside the top 4. There's Whitlock. Whoa. It was always coming, and there's 2 in the area. Monty puts a really nice bid in. But it is a goal, and Flood go back to what was working. 2-pass offense. Somebody throw it to Nick Whitlock, and Whitlock will put it in the end zone to Moore.
Whitlock to Moore, I believe that's their third long connection for a score. Their Flood is being coached by Fish and Ethan, who are both very knowledgeable about the game, have been around the sport for ages, have given a lot back to especially the development programs, been very heavily involved in the U24 programs.
Yeah, and as the coach of this team, they've got to be happy with where they're at right now. 7-5 up. Really great start to the game. Convert their offense. Now a chance to come out on defense and you know, take half. This is a really big moment in this game, I think, Meg.
Yeah, it's been a good fight. Couple of comebacks from Canali, just can't quite shut that connection down. They had 2 defenders out there on that last huck, which was really good.
I think that we're going to see a lot of Hannah Monty getting off the back of the stack and looking to influence the playback there. She's supremely athletic as a player. Her ability to cover distance is second almost to none. She is phenomenal. So clearly something that Canale want to do. Don gets underneath the pool. There's Sutton, that power receiver out of the stack, looking for some sort of movement. He gestures under to De Silva. That beautiful mustache. He goes to Sutton, who's going to have to go. It is ground stripped. He got there. Oh, can they break? Crosby, Bakrati, back to the middle. They go. Flood with great movement and flow to Turner. They've got free receivers everywhere. Canali, they're at 6s and 7s. Turner's going to reach out to the end zone. They're on the end zone line. They're so close to push pass. Don't throw a push pass. Throw something proper. Turner throws it for half. Flood, they're going to go into the break. And it is all in their court right now. They have taken ownership of this game.
Turner to Hazel Yu. Very lovely connection there. We were expecting a push pass based on how the disc was being held right outside the end zone. They went with a more sensible backhand.
I speak from experience when I say don't throw push passes in big moments, in big games. But Turner comes up with a big throw. 4, 5, 8. Canali down by 3 points. A break to finish. We are going to be back after halftime, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to seeing you then. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
See, I'm so down. Loretta Brown used to be nice. Guess what? I'm better now. Man, way more mega now. Rock light on the letters now. So gold. Heydays at a Motown. Photo the ground and slow down. Chip off the block so glow. Wow. Full float for a boat down a hope now. I used to listen to Cold Flow. That's where I got this cold flow. Didn't need to do so the fofo. But I rap to myself like I'm loco. Now everywhere I go, I'm a loco. Got a coffee on the house with a stone too. What a throne proof. No Zeus. The glass in my hand hold more juice. So produce for he who play Coltrane for that round. So while I'm praying and laying on the brownstone stoop. Meditation world on mute. No time for the ism. Float these loops, the ghost stay with them. Can't beat them, get rhythm. To crack these codes, there's a crack flow in them. Flower that bloom from the roots. Less surface, more surface. Definitions and purpose. Hurt deep, but it's worth it. Old man taught me free is worthless. And the sky's the same as the dirt is. So the caves and the lakes where I'm lurking. Same version, close curtain. I don't wanna say what's on my mind. I just wanna drink a little wine. Might get a little bit high. Spend a little money, waste time. I just wanna do what I do. I just wanna do what I do. I don't wanna say what's on my mind. I just wanna drink a little wine. Might get a little bit high. Spend a little money, waste time. I just wanna do what I do. I just wanna do what I do.
Sometimes I just wanna get stoned all day and play Nintendo. Sometimes I just wanna get toasted and chill with my best bro. Sometimes I just wanna get dough and spend it at DFO. Sometimes I drink VSOP and sometimes I'm dead broke. Sometimes I just wanna get high, cause sometimes I get low. Sometimes I feel like nobody gives a fuck. I feel like flesh bone, and I don't know why, but I won't go crying about that shit. Just let go. Sometimes I just need a little bit of time to be alone with my headphone. Like me some of that electro, give me some of that new leftover. Might fuck with a little bit of info. Might be some tone when I feel good. All that I really wanna do is chill and build that goal. Don't wanna stress about the next show. Feel like my head's about to explode. Sometimes I've been in my room all week and I wanna pack up and get gold. Sometimes I've been on just wanna kill some time. Cause we ain't got a lot of time. And it ain't no way to stop the time. But it make time to take time out to chill sometimes. Sometimes I just wanna kill some time. Cause we ain't got a lot of time. And it ain't no way to stop the time. But it make time to take time out to chill sometimes.
I just wanna drink a little wine. Might get a little bit high. Spend a little money, waste time. I just wanna do what I do. I just wanna do what I do. I don't wanna say what's on my mind. I just wanna drink a little wine. Might get a little bit high. Spend a little money, waste time. I just wanna do what I do.
Out of sight, out of mind, ain't that right, baby? Escaping time.
Welcome back to the second half of the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships here from sunny North Island.
We're
We're about to get things underway. 4 women on the line. Karate to pull. The Flood, it looks like he will sit in bounds actually.
coming out of half here. It'll be interesting to see if Canali can bring this game back. They're down 5-8 at the moment. Bit of a surprise from Flood that they were able to pull ahead so easily.
Oh no, what a
Missed throw
start.
there from Canali.
What a start. Okay, bit of confusion. Hannah Monty is actually, whilst also being one of the elitist players in Australia, she's actually a game advisor as well. So, excellent rules knowledge. Like, she is
So they're going to get
really good with her rules knowledge. So, like,
foreign rules knowledge and use.
yeah, like you would hope. But it looks like the turnover will stand. The pick was called, so you got to stop. The disc will stay where it is, though, by the looks of it. So there it is, tapped in. Yep, Turner will pick it up, and now he's going to throw it, and it looks like he's thrown it out.
Out of bounds. Anna Dolan tries to tow it in.
He has thrown
Not
it out.
able to keep it in.
Start to the second half, that would have been Meg. If they had scored that, 9-5. Okay, Hanley now gets another opportunity at it.
Canele is self-proclaimed that they're a second half team. We'll see if that holds true.
Turner! He's done enough. He's having a great game, is Turner, and he's going to bookend it.
Hazel Yu to Turner. 9-5 to Flood.
And what a symmetrical way to start the second half. We saw Turner to you to end the first half, and now it's you to Turner to start the second half. Oh,
Flood
What a
capitalizing
beginning.
on those turns from Canele. Unfortunate missed throws. Good looks, poor execution.
yeah, but poor execution indeed. You would expect better out of a team that has so much experience. And not just experience, but experience at a high level as well. So many worlds and nationals representatives from the Australian scene. You know, I can't. I'm surprised this game has gone this way. It would not been what I would have predicted.
Right. My concern for Canali is that it's a mental and a physical game at this point. I don't know that they're getting that much pressure from Flood on defense. I think it's they're doing it to themselves, unfortunately.
Self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted, indeed.
And to Flood's benefit or advantage, they're taking advantage of that.
They really are capitalizing.
Canali's opened the door a little bit, and Flood has burst in like that odd guy that you invite to the party that always rocks up too early, and you're like, yes, hi, come on in, because you don't want to be rude, but all of a sudden the door's wide open and everyone's here for the party. Another good pull. This one's going to come back in. Sutton to Carmen. Out of the horizontal come Canale. Hearn is just going to clog the space. He's in no man's land. Monty goes around straight over the head of a
couple of these
defender.
throws that are very close to another player. Well executed. Holstering a big look there.
Carmen breaks to Sutton.
what we like to see from Canali, some smart plays. Big shot here from Monty. Easy score there. 6-9.
Yeah. Monty showing the versatility, getting underneath, and then Carmen, who has been spending a bit of time underneath the disc as a handler, getting free in the end zone. Two players that are impossible to cover. Offensively, the speed of Carmen and Monty. Have you ever played against them, Meg?
I'm sure I have. I would have played against Canali a couple of years back. But Hannah Monty's name was very familiar to me, and I was looking at the roster. I had a quick look through on Ulti Central, trying to get as much information as I could on the players. And the one thing that stood out to me was the years played for all of these players, especially for some names that we're not as familiar with in New Zealand. Seeing that people have played for 10 plus years, a bit intimidating. Talking to people who've played over in Australia, they had said their women are quite strong. They've got a lot of good experience, some good athleticism.
Well, that's always been the secret of good mixed ultimate, hasn't it? It's not so much about the guys, but how good are your girls? Like, the girls, if you have strong women, you've got a strong mixed team.
Yeah, and capitalizing on mismatches especially. A lot of teams in the New Zealand scene historically have struggled to get women, so they'll have a lot of newer pickups. So if you have experienced ladies, being able to capitalize on mismatches.
Well, Canali have to be happy with what they've got so far.
Big shot there from Howe, crossfield to Moore, but just out of reach. Turnover. Can Canali take this home?
They really need to. To take things to 9-7, you're a little bit more comfortable with where the game is at. 10-6, that's not a good spot to be. You know, you're on the edge, teetering on the edge of the cliff. And it's just going to take one good nudge to send you over the edge.
Big
Well
cut.
done.
Monty going deep. Whitlock picking up. And Canali's playing it with some unders. Safer throws, safer cuts.
High stall. It's a speculator. Whitlock has got it. Looks like there is maybe going to be a foul call. No, play on. All right, off we go. And Whitlock is going to send it to Moore. It's sideways. It's fine. Oh. Nick Whitlock has doing it both ways now. He gets the block and then picks it up and picks out his favorite man, the man we want to see more of.
Maury. Whitlock to Maury. That is their fourth connection from this game. Can expect that to be a trend for the rest of this tournament for this team.
It was interesting. Canale managed to shut down the first look. Reese Hearn playing some really good defense on Rory Moore. But then, you know, after the turn, all of a sudden, you've got to make up all that space because you've got to switch quickly from offense to defense. It's interesting. Flood now. Yeah, like I said, 10-6. That's it's an interesting spot to be in.
Right, Canali claiming to be a second half team. They are cleaning it up, but they've still got a couple of those errors that just Flood's taking advantage of. Hopefully we'll get to see them find some energy, dig deep, bring it back a bit. Hopefully, I'm sure they'd like to see the score a bit closer.
Well, 15-12 was the result that Canale had earlier against Old Boys. They won, which is a great start to them, to their tournament. But now being down this much against what is arguably the bottom seed, you know, we could see this have ramifications deep into the tournament. You know, as we head towards Saturday afternoon in the championships rounds, a loss here for Canale. You know, all of a sudden we're looking at three-way ties, and you know who goes through on head-to-head. And when you're managing a team, Meg, you want to be able to control your own destiny, don't you? You don't want things to come down to score difference.
Right, of course. I managed the U24 men's team that was just in Germany, and we missed out on top 8 due to a three-way tie, and it came down to point differential. We had an amazing win, and our team was celebrating, was just ecstatic, and then a couple of the players worked it out in their heads, and we had realized that we'd been knocked out. And it just is, it's heartbreaking to watch your team go through that and to see all the work that they'd put in, all the hope that they had, all the determination, and then especially coming out of that, being knocked down, trying to find the energy to still give it your all when you're reaching a game, and finding a way that your team can still be satisfied and feel like they've given it everything they've got.
And that situation, actually, we were discussing that on the drive down from Auckland yesterday, how, the New Zealand men's team actually ended up getting booted out because the Australian team was actually involved in that.
I wasn't going to say anything
Well,
again.
the Australian men's team dropped a game that they shouldn't have and created that. So, Hannah, it's going to float. It's not a good throw. Double coverage, and there's the block.
Ling there with the block. Nice positioning. Double coverage there from Flood.
Just a really average throw, though, by Matt Hanna. That was, if he was going to throw that, where did that throw need to go, Meg?
It needed to be more direct. We've seen a throw earlier this game that was just pinpoint, floated over the defender and into the receiver's hands.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I could not have written it better. It is like a soap opera here at the moment. It is an absolute disaster. It is a nightmare for Canale, and maybe a dream. It could be a dream for Flood. They are up.
Connection.
They are up 11-6.
Stolen to Ling. Very lovely. Good work from everyone here on Flood.
The trust. Just as that was. I wouldn't say it was perfect because the throw was a bit long. There was a little bit on that, but just the trust in the receiver. Go get it. I know you got that. Go get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is just wonderful mixed ultimate here at the moment, and Canale have it all to do. What do they need to do, Meg? How do they get back in this game?
I think at this point they need to try something different. Utilize maybe some poaches, maybe some zones. Try something to shut down space instead of players. They're just getting beat. They're getting beat on when they're on offense and then on defense as well. They're not keeping up. Just need to mix it up. Try something different. Try to get in the heads of Flood. Throw things up.
Because you feel like with any team that is particularly youthful, that if you get a few points, there might be a crack here that we can exploit.
Definitely.
Don, middle of the field to Handley. Monty. Hearn on the far sideline.
Big shot from Hearn. Low.
It's just another completion error. Hearn could have thrown that anywhere into the end zone. Rebecca Cartman goes and gets that. She is one of the fastest women you will ever have the misfortune of marking up against. And it results in a turnover. So no, that's not Whitlock.
Got Crosby there. Moving with Ho.
Flood now. They're very deep down the field. They're managing to reset the disc nicely. There's Turner. He's had a great game thus far.
Can you tell me a bit about this Canali team and what their previous experience playing with each other would be?
Oh, that is not a great throw. He had to reach a long way there. In terms of playing together, like in Australia, the community is quite small, like New Zealand, and a lot of us have played with each other at some stage in our careers. You know, it gets to the stage where at some stage you have played with everyone, really. Like from the various hat tournaments, competitively, most of these players have actually played together, being based largely in Sydney. That is a speculator. Oh, Cartman has read it the best!
Just over the top of Turner. A lovely connection from Canali for that score. 7-11.
And maybe that is
Slow
some
comeback, maybe. We will.
Maybe that's some of the luck that they need to come back in this game there, Canali. And Rebecca Cartman, a superstar of the sport. Concentration, focus, determination.
And that comes from that read there. Knowing the game, knowing the disc, knowing how it floats, just having a really smart play. And especially in mixed, a lot of times that's what ladies who are shorter can do to kind of capitalize on the throws and take advantage of that is just being able to play smart, read the disc better, wait for it to go over the top of a group of people jumping up for it.
Yeah. So coming back to, the experience that these guys have had playing together. Yeah, most of them have played together at some stage, and, being largely based from Sydney, they're all very familiar with one another. I know that Beck Carmen and Hannah Monty have both played for Greater Western Sydney, which is one of the elite women's clubs. Mitch Sutton has really started to put some notes on his resume, I would say. He's actually started to really come into a bit of a right patch of form. He had a really good Div 1. And here he's played pretty well. Like he's got on the assist chart for 3 or 4 goals. And he's looked really dangerous. So I think that he's probably going to need to get involved in the game.
Have any of these players gotten involved in the AUL semi-professional league?
Yeah, so Monty and Cartman both have played at the semi-pro level. Apart from that, there's nobody else here at the moment.
I think that might be why she looks familiar.
Yeah,
watching
possibly.
now.
In Australia, there are a few women who are better than Cartman or Monty. They're 2 of the best that we've got.
Yeah.
So Whitlock is going to go with a hammer. You saw it coming.
Huge hammer out to Zhu in the back corner of the end zone. A lovely shot.
Oh, it was coming. He wanted it the first time, and he's like, oh, it's not quite there. He holsters the shot and elects to just move it around a little bit. But the second time, Monty comes too far to the near side of the field and opens it up. So Flood now 12-7 the score. They're 5 points up.
Love to see.
I'm nearly ready to call it, but there's just too much experience for Canale. I can't count them out quite yet.
It's hard to watch them be down this far and just not believe that they've got more to give. I think we'll definitely...
So you think it's a question of belief at the moment?
I do. I think they should actually play some with their hammers. I like some hammers. They're good on the field. You can see there. Very well executed. I think Canali could probably take some good advantage with some hammers. Crowd always calls for more hammers.
Well, defense now from Flood. It has been pretty much exclusively match defense from Flood this far into the game. One-way forces and really self-inflicted was the word we used earlier. Canale really gifting the disc back at times to Flood. Another great pull. That's Barkarati again. He has done a really nice job pulling today. Handley to Hearn. Oh, that quintessential faculty cut from the back of the stack. That's something we used to see out of Hearn when he played in Sydney years and years ago. Sutton with the lefty hammer. He's a cheater. Someone call travel. He has thrown a lefty hammer to Mikhail De Silva. And that is a goal. You called it.
I wanted more hammers and we got them. That was beautiful. That direction to throw that lefty hammer, just perfect. Allowed the receiver to run right into it. Beautiful. Want to see more of that.
So now, though, they have to play defense, Meg. Do they go back to that zone that they had a little bit of success with, or do they go to match here, do you think?
I reckon they go with the zone, especially being short-rostered. It would save them quite a bit of running. They could just play smartly, which is what we've expected from them. Hopefully see that. They're a bit short of people out on the line at the moment.
It's been a fairly fast-paced game. This Flood team, deep roster, lots of players, willingness to run as well, and certainly a willingness to send it. Yeeting?
Yeeting it, yeah.
Is that a thing in New Zealand?
It definitely is. Especially with the uni kids.
I'm a little bit old for yeeting and yeetness.
Yeah, I was a bit on the way out when that came in, but the uni kids will yeet the disc around.
It has been yeeted quite thoroughly thus far.
Yoted? Did they yote the disc?
I don't know, what's
It's
the
like the-
past tense?
As a linguistics, somebody with a linguistics degree, I would say yote
Yep.
or yoted.
Yoted? Okay.
They yote the disc. Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
All right. Chong, Whitlock, 2 passes. Next one's to score, right? No. Canali are going to come back out in that zone. And, Whitlock has gone to the end zone. You got to throw that. You got to throw that to him. He had the separation. Chong is going to get the Frisbee. Whitlock's cut is cut off by Howe. Howe goes. Whitlock's going to reach for him. It's there for Howe. It's there for Howe. He bids. Oh, what a bid that was too.
Huge bid from Howe, just out of reach. Flood to fight for it back on defense.
That's what you love to see. Put it all on the line. Go home dirty. It is going to be an injury call. Looks like Howe has bent himself a little bit on that bid. That is the results of laying it out there. So, disc is tapped in, so to speak. Everyone having to make up their ground before play is resumed. So Sutton will go and pick it up. We see Monty isolated in the lane at the moment. It's not a great matchup really for Amanda West. Amanda West has played like 1 tournament.
Yep, this is her. She's played University Nationals. This is her 2nd big tournament. I believe her 3rd tournament in total, including the qualifier. Very tall, very athletic. She comes from a soccer background, so she knows field positioning. But in terms of marking somebody with as much experience and athleticism as Monty, disadvantaged.
We see there, she just, yeah. The gaps and the separation are there. West does look good though. When she's moving, Monty really can't create much separation.
As far as
A little bit of experience there. Maybe Amanda West is a star of the future. Do you know much about her age? And
she's one of the younger students at university. We're going to try to get her into the U24 development program here in New Zealand. See if she's keen, see if we can pull her away from soccer.
well, we see there that there was no separation between Monty and West. She's made a great competition of it. And Sutton has put up a really good throw there.
Nice throw, lovely read, just good positioning for that throw to come right into Monty.
Well, 12-9 the score now. Canale, they're still in it. They're still hanging around. Flood really need to put this to bed at some stage. They need to put the cap on it, put it back in the cupboard.
Yeah, we'll see if Canali can come down with some hard defense, shut them down, shut down Flood's offense right away and just score off that turn. I think that's what they need at this moment to keep.
And stay with the zone, you think?
I reckon the zone is harder for Flood to just get easy throws.
Because it really has been just Whitlock lighting up the end zone and, you know, one pass and there's an opportunity to score. There really isn't much in the terms of like flow and build-up play when it comes to this Flood offense, is there?
No, they would have trained together for I think about 2 months now. But again, a bit of a fresher group playing together. A couple of them.
Sutton has just riffed that out of bounds. That is OB and not coming back. He is missed by 20 metres there. It's not really that great by Mitch Sutton. He's going to want that one back. And possibly even worse is that Nick Whitlock is going to bring this back and he's going to have an opportunity from the brick mark.
So it looks like they're setting up in a bit of a zone here.
With a double deep look. Monty and Sutton are sitting out the back here. So Whitlock brings it in, looks for Chong, who creates a really nice hole in the zone there. Whitlock with quick movement to Howe. He's had a good game, has Hal. He's been involved in the play. He's been doing a fairly good job, I would say, out there. A lot of good signs there. Bright signs for Flood in that young man.
Yep, ready up.
With Hal, there he is again popping up. Back to the middle, Whitlock. Really running the show at the moment. Whoop, and there's the break. Monty has popped out of nowhere like a jack in the box. All of a sudden, she's there.
Lovely bait on that throw from Monty, good awareness.
Oh, and here's Sutton. He's going to want this, and he's going to stick the
Huge
left-handed
shot.
flick. That is a huge throw by Mitch Sutton, who is in a rich vein of form, and Hannah Monty is absolutely unstoppable with the bookends. Gets the block at one end, catches the score at the other. Canale,
Lovely shot there from Sutton.
are
Good
they back
connection.
in the game?
They're back in the game. 12-10. This game is getting a lot closer.
Who wins? it's the hard
It's tough.
question.
It's very tough.
Because
If
at the
Canali-
start of the game, we saw Flood up 5-1. What if that happens again? Like, from here, Flood could end the game without Canali scoring again, potentially, maybe.
Yeah. If Monty's taking a point off, if Canali can keep playing like they have the last couple of points here, I think I would give the game to them.
But really, it's Monty and Carmen who are instrumental to Canali, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's Monty that's kind of wheeled them back into the game at this stage. She's just a phenomenal player, really. So Don to Paul, sporting that knee brace he's had for more years than I've actually been playing. And Don is actually going to miss as well here. So Whitlock is going to have another opportunity from the brick mark. So Monty just here on the sideline saying that this is about the 12th brick and the boys are sacked. I'd agree with that. We saw Quarrel Hang earlier today with a monster pull.
I'd love to see some more girls out here pulling in the mixed scene. Made my fiance give up the pull, say give it to the ladies, give it to Coral, back in Space Invaders. Just like to see what they've got as well. Definitely doesn't have to be a guy's game out there for the pulls.
And when I was playing, something that I found when I played defense was I played better defense when I didn't pull, because I was able to kind of focus in that little bit earlier. I was able to run down and you know, just really laser-like on what my job was. When you pull, you've got to be thinking about, oh, okay, this is where I want to put the pull. Oh, Flood.
Flood just on the end zone
It's
here.
just so easy for them.
Lovely,
Beautiful.
just threading it up the field. Connection there from you to Chong with a nice little layout to grab that and take it safely.
That is really, really nice by Flood. Coming back to what I was saying about defense and pulling. When you're pulling, you've got to think about, you know, some different things. And often after you've pulled, you then need to gather yourself to then run down and get it on defense. And if you're marking a handler because you're short, then, you know, you've got also got a little bit further to run. So often, you know, handing the pull off to, you know, someone who's going to be marking a deep receiver is often a really, really good strategy to use, because it allows the defense then to get set on the right players earlier.
Right. You can get, you can do a lot for your defense if you're, especially if you're on a handler, if you get down there right away, stopping those first throws, shutting down the options. Give the pull to the deep, if you're playing a zone. All right, we're sitting 13-10 at the moment. Flood is up. Can Canali take this point away and start their little comeback to take the game? We will find out.
Time is running short now. Like, all of a sudden, they don't have that many points to play with. You know, there's only 2 points till the end of the game, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, if Flood, you know, all of a sudden just turn on the blowtorch, they could end this game very, very quickly.
Takes one fundamental error there. Lovely movement.
Cal Silva is going to
Big
reach for
shot.
Monty. She's in the end zone again.
That was very nice, very good connection from Canali.
She is wheeling her team back into this one as Hannah Monty. And this time it's Mikhail De Silva. A really nice outside in forehand.
Some good laughs out on the field there between Flood and Canali. Lots of smiles. Looks like spirit's good. Exactly what you like to see in a game that's, especially a contested game that's going back and forth.
Well, Flood now, they're back on offense. We've been trading now for the last couple of points. Whitlock, the tall timber on the line out there. Howe, West.
Chong,
And
they've
Rory
got
Moore.
Maury's out there. We
Rory
can
Moore
expect
has
to
gone
see.
quiet though. He's been missing for
Yeah.
the like somebody send out a search party. We're looking for Rory Moore. Has anyone seen him? Because in the first half, it was all him. He was the man.
We'll see if Whitlock can find him out on the field at this point. We'll look for that connection. Flood's got a strong handler line. Whitlock, Howe, and Chong.
Oh. So, Monty.
Give the disc to the ladies to pull, we said.
Hannah Monty has just lit the boys up about how they haven't landed one inbounds, and then she goes and she serves that up, which is arguably the worst pull we've seen yet.
I'll get behind that. Ladies pulling, I'm behind that all day.
She just hasn't warmed up, right? She hasn't had a chance. Like, you gotta give them a couple, right?
The disc still came in about the brick mark, so what's different, really?
Anyway, Howe goes back to Whitlock. Canali with the zone, the high release flick to Chong. I love it. Chong, Whitlock. They're looking.
Maury just chilling on the sideline over here.
Howe settles underneath it, the gloves. Oh, and he's gonna put it
Big
up.
look out to Whitlock.
That is some pie. He's greatest.
Greatest, but an inexperienced receiver, unfortunately, not quite ready to chase that down.
That would have had to hit Amanda West in the chest for that to be catchable. It was vertical and moving with a great rate of knots.
We got some nice footwork from West, teeing up to Monty.
Yeah,
Monty
and
once again set in this isolation from the vertical.
looks like West has been given a bit of help, and she's sitting up deep with Monty now. Monty is just such a... Oh, there's a big hand block. Whitlock is now going to go fast to Howe, to Whitlock.
Nice.
Flood, they hold their offense.
It's a nice block there from Moore. Flood capitalizing on that. Smart throws, taking that 14-11 now.
It's close. It is so close. It's going to come down to maybe just one play of brilliance from Flood.
Right.
You know, allowed D, you know, just that little 1%er, that little bit more, and this game is over for Canali. Like, there is so little now standing between Flood and a victory. And a victory here, it'll be huge for their tournament. Huge.
It really will be. The pool that these two teams are in, it's competitive. Everyone's wanting to get in the top 4 of this pool.
So with this game coming towards a close now, it's going to be interesting to see what the ramifications are. Saturday afternoon is when the championship rounds start. It'll move towards a quarter-final by the looks of it, and then into a semi-final. Before we get there, though, there's 5 pool play games to play. That one has landed on the line.
Taking it in as a brick.
Yeah.
Flood's giving him a thumbs up on that brick call.
And for the first time this game, Flood are showing zone. 3-3-1 by the looks. And Sutton goes around. Handley. Sutton. He's had a great game, has Sutton. Handley. Carmen. Doing what she does best. Monty.
Lovely disc work here from Canali.
Yeah.
Exactly what we need to see.
You can't play zone against Rebecca Carpin in these conditions.
In these conditions.
I did. It's
Zone
just
with
asking,
no wind.
It's just asking for trouble. Sutton, a huge bid. Oh, it is so close to a D.
Lovely defense from
And
Anaheim there.
Headley has thrown a hammer for the score to nobody else but Hannah Monty.
14-12 now. Canali slowly climbing back up. I can expect that Flood will put away that zone after seeing just how experienced and smart Canali is against a zone. The conditions are, it's getting warmer again, but there is still no wind out here.
And Anna Dolan, so close.
Huge bid.
That was the play I was talking about, right? A massive layout block by one of your females on one of the male handlers. Like that. That was the game. It could have been the game. They could still win from here, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to control your own fate. You want to win, when you get the chance and as soon as possible. Because if this game kicks on to, 13-14, we're looking down the barrel of Universe. You almost say if Canali score now, we're going to Universe. You back them to score again to take it to Universe. Especially against a team with young players, that inexperience. All of a sudden, it's
that bit of excitement, just a missed throw, missed catch.
That, oh no, we were up by, 4 or 5 points, and now we're going to Universe. If we don't score this, it all compounds. So Monty is going to pull again. Yeah,
second time's the charm.
She's starting a little bit further this way. Yeah,
That's a nice pull.
Yeah, she's nailed that one. That's a very nice pull there. Much better than the guys have shown so far.
Got a zone here from Canali.
This is a different zone though. They're going with just a conventional 3-3-1.
Will it be enough to stop this Flood offense?
It's a one-way force. No, sorry, it's a forced middle.
There's lovely shot West. Through the middle from Whitlock to West.
And West, oh, it's there, it's there. They've done it. What an upset! It's an upset for the ages. I can't believe it. I dared scarcely wish to hope. I couldn't even comprehend Flood winning this game, and yet they have done it through hard work, determination, and a fair amount of luck. They have taken this game. Amazing.
Very, very good game from Flood. Hope to see Canali pick it up a bit. They've already got a win against Old Boys. Down to Flood, they're going to be coming up against both of the MDC teams later in their pool. Stay tuned for how this pool comes out.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lunch break here. We'll be back with more action from the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships. This afternoon we have Hammertron Prime playing off against Mixtape. That'll be an interesting and hard-fought encounter. Prime with the 9th seed. Mixtape, the wild card, at 12. So we look forward to seeing you at 2:30, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining myself and Meg here in the coverage. We will see you soon.
Alti.tv